Good evening, viewers. About the foreign policy of India, what is going on between India and US, India and China, and India and Russia, and other countries like Iran, Palestine, and Israel, Japan, Australia, and all the Southeast Asian countries. Now, today we are going to discuss. India is more alienating towards or inclining towards USA for the last 25 years. Since the ruling of Vajpayee sir, it started inclination towards USA in taking all the pro-American policies, pro-American decisions. What it has taken earlier, it had its own non-alignment policy, and it is having such a wonderful, strong moral courage. And during the times of Indira Gandhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and other leaders who ruled India as prime ministers. But unlike that, the declining of strength and the bent towards the Western countries started for the last 25 years, especially with America. It's good that America is encouraging India by taking its software technical know-how and help. As a client, it is engaging many software techies and companies and giving projects to India, whereby India is doing $58 billion business with America. But firstly, it started military cooperation or military assignments with America, pro-logistic and pro-military activities with America. Especially, it has performed all the joint operations and shows in Indian Ocean, etc. And though USA is supporting Pakistan, India is not raising voice firmly, saying its disagreement to the divide and rule policy by America. And not only that, now USA has ordered India to reduce its trade or stop its trade with Iran by stopping the crude oil import from Iran. India has done so. India has not doing any business with Iran. Likewise, USA also asked India to stop crude oil import from Russia. Already from 75% to 36%, India has reduced its oil import from Russia. And not only that, India has joined against China in Quad along with America, Japan, and Australia. And Prime Minister Modi ji has declared some statements against China while he visited Japan 2 years ago. And not only that, India also has is not doing much business with China in the early years of Galwan Valley attacks. For 1 year, it has stopped its trade with India. But later it lifted all the barriers and again allowed China to export its goods at a cheaper rate than Indian goods, and the Chinese goods dumped Indian market overwhelmingly, like the mobile phones, Poco, Vivo, Oppo, and all the gadgets, toys, textiles, everything, whatnot, food items also has dominated Indian markets. They are available at cheaper rate. Even the drugs, the main elements, the main factors in bulk drug manufacturing, in capsule manufacturing during COVID and during uh, the azithromycin, paracetamol, primary drugs are also depended on Chinese imports, exports, because India has not that much cheaper technology to produce the raw material. So India has to obey the Chinese exports and buy them and make it into tablets and capsules and then export to the world countries. So that is one thing. And India China, in the trade relations, India will not be benefited that much. China will be benefited in a vast way, and the trade deficit between exports from India and imports from China is very huge and very large. There is a very big gap between the exports and imports, which is disadvantageous to India. And not only that, the Indian non-cooperation or non-declaration or not raising voice against the Israelis' war on Iran, unlike the European countries, unlike the Brazil and other countries, small countries, even the Mexico and Colombia, they are also revolting against America, though they are largely exporting their goods to America. India is unable to raise its voice. It's very ridiculous. Being strong is not that totally bending or succumbing to a country and monopolizing a country's will and wish and unipolar world. It's a multipolar world. They are very big. There are very big powers like America, Russia, China, European Union, etc. Even the Canada also not obeying to Americans' wills and pleasures. So India has to raise its voice against Palestinian suppression and the massacre in Gaza by Israel and all fellow harassments and the attacks on fellow human beings in other countries, and it has to raise its voice and to be strong by saying no to some wrong decisions by America. India has not rose its voice even during the Operation Sindoor by not raising its voice against Trump's comments that I have stopped the war by declaring trade sanctions on India so that India stopped the war. So Modi ji recently declined or countered the US President's talks or comments every time, many times, saying that he stopped the war. So it has to be done earlier. So we are not about to comment what actions the Prime Minister of India has taken, but we are just feeling our inner feelings we are expressing. So India should be strong. It has huge human power and all natural resources are there. and the manufacturing has to be rose to huge extent, and thus it has to compete with China in manufacturing and logistics field, and the military and army also should be strengthened by innovating and by importing more knowledge from Russia and China. China has openly offered for BYD technology, BYD cars technology to India, but India denied, and India opened doors to Tesla and David Harley Motors, and even the Tesla has manufactured its cars in China, and they have sold it in India. So China was benefited and India lost the opportunity of producing the cars and bikes. And China is ready to share the knowledge of manufacturing of BYD motors. But India lost the opportunity of learning the knowledge of making motors. So, India should take wise decisions and be wiser. In that way, over dependency on any country. It's good that India has reduced its import of oil, crude oil from Russia from 75 to 36%. It's good not to depend or over depend on any other country. When a country wants to be strong on itself, it should not have over dependence on any other country. It has to rise on its own, whether it is Russia or China or USA or European Union. India has to be non-aligned and not dependent on any other country, and not to get impacted or get mesmerized or hypnotized by any other country in the world. So this is all up to now, and rest will be discussed later. Good night, viewers. Like, share and subscribe Shyamla channel. Bye. Take care.